Hey everyone, Rob the Backyard Gardener here, and it's been almost 3 weeks since I've given you any garden update, any videos. But like I said, I've been out of town for a few weeks. While I was gone, we had a hailstorm and it destroyed a lot of my young seedlings. But to any extent, we've been recovering over the last week. And I even saw my pool. It's embarrassing. My pool was green. I have a saltwater pool, and my chlorine generator died. So it wasn't putting out any chlorine. Long story short, I thought I would do a kind of a quick video today before I do my bigger update tomorrow. And I've decided that I would like to propagate my Thompson seedless grapevine. I have some live cuttings that I'm going to take off the off of the Thompson seedless grapevine, because the grapevine's getting pretty big, and I'll show you what I mean. I know it works, the method I'm going to use. I've done my research. I did it last year. I just didn't make a video on it, but I still want to show you how I do it. And in future videos, I will show you the progress and update you on how the cuttings are doing. Let's go take a look at the Thompson seedless grapevine that's getting out of control. So here's the Thompson seedless grapevine. We've got vines running up this stick, this post. I've got ones hitting the bricks, which is not too good for their health. We've got other vines shooting across here. We've got other vines coming off here. These are starting to fill out. Got some extra vines hanging out over here, and it's still starting to fill out back here. But to any extent, we're gonna let this grapevine continue to grow, but I do want to take off a couple of cuttings from this section here, as well as the couple from this section over here. Okay, so got my handy dandy shears here, should say scissors, and really at the end of the day, guys, you don't need much more than 6 to 10 inches, but if I cut it at 6 inches right here, I'm not going to be too happy with the end of that, because most of it's really green and really weak. So I'm going to pull it back a few more inches right to about here, right above this node. We'll just snip that off. We've got one cutting. This one I'm going to go a little bit bigger, to about here. And then let's see, we'll do 3. I'll also do this one down here, and we'll get it right here at this node down here. So there's 3 cuttings. So you take the cuttings now. I kept the water because I had to do a few things, but I'm going to take off at least 3 of these bottom leaves. I got to leave some green on here so that it can photosynthesize and make sure that it's producing some more roots for me. But I'm going to cut off the bottom 3 on each of these at least. And then I've got some of my homemade potting soil, compost, mixed with some potting soil and some perlite. And I've got 3 containers that I'm going to plug each one of these in. And I'll be right back after I cut the leaves off. Okay, we've cut off the bottom leaves. I'm going to be leaving the tendrils on these so that when I put these into containers, they have something to grab onto as they climb. I'm probably going to put a few sticks in there. But the next step is to fill this with potting soil, and then to put this sucker all the way down as far as possible so that you have a lot of this stem making good contact with the soil. Now that I have the soil in the pot, I'm just giving a quick measurement to see how deep this will go. So if I were to put it all the way at the bottom, it'd be right at this node, but I'm going to leave it a little bit less space here. I want about 1/2 to 2/3 of the stem, if possible, in the soil. So I'm going to poke a hole and push this guy in. Now, I'm not going to use rooting hormone. I'm not going to use any honey. I'm not going to use anything to promote the roots to grow. Last year I didn't do that, and I was 7 out of the 10 cuttings took just fine. There, we've got the hole. And I'm going to put this guy in there like that, and I'm just going to firm up around him to give him a nice stable base. And I'm going to firm up pretty tight on this. There we go. We've got the first one in the pot, and like I said, I'm going to have something to get this guy to stand up a little more erect than he is right now. But I'm gonna get the other two into their pots, and then I'll show what they look like when I get these guys all staked up. I don't have any suitable bamboo for the project, but I do have some old palm branches that I've cut off for one of my mule palms here. So I believe if I just give it a nice quick cut here, I'll be able to use this to stake it to. Let me get these three cut up and I'll use those instead. I like to recycle. All right, we've got three sizes here, so I got to make sure I use the long one for him, the second long one for him, and the shortest one for the last plant. All right, guys, the final step in this process is to go ahead and give these guys a good soaking in. You can see the leaves are a little tired right now waiting for me to get this done. So I'm going to give them a good soaking in. Rule of thumb is to not let them be in any direct sunlight. A nice shady place is good. I'll probably keep them inside my house in my grow room just so that they can recover and start growing roots. It could be anywhere from 3 weeks to 7 weeks before these guys have enough roots to even think about seeing any sunlight. Gotta love fresh rainwater for your plants. Sure beats that chlorinated drinking city water that we got. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather drink the city water than drink this water coming out of this barrel. But my plants, they prefer this kind of water. Let's go give them a drink. I also wanted to point out that grapevine leaves or grape leaves are great for a lot of things, but the number one thing you can use them for, if you're somebody who likes to pickle things like cucumbers and make them pickles, then instead of using some synthetic or store-bought agent or chemical, you can actually put a couple of grape leaves into your jars, and this will help keep the cucumbers crisp when they're pickled. The reason why grape leaves are so good for pickling is they have tannins, and tannins help keep things crisp. And so, you know what, just a couple of grape leaves in each jar and you'll have more than enough you need to keep those pickles crisp. I'm not pickling today, but if I was, I know what I'd be doing with these guys. All right, everyone, that's my quick little video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I plan on keeping you updated on how these grapevine cuttings are doing. And until the next video, thanks for watching.